Hello there, everyone. Pearl Jr. here. How is everyone doing? I hope everybody's doing great. Okay, real quick. Stays all day Shay. Let's do work and play. Because everybody has skin. This is what I'm using now. Sweet Luxury, which is Prada candy. See, it's so luscious and wonderful. Keeps my 62-year-old skin soft and luscious and precious. And so you be sure. I got some new fragrances. I haven't put them on the website yet, but I will. And I got some new items in the store too. So please come down to the Skin Butter store at 11107. Isn't that funny? 1s and 7s, Burbank Boulevard in North Hollywood. Okay, guys. I am going to warn you. Okay, if you don't want to hear my opinion based on facts, evidence, proof, and clues, you might not want to watch this video. You might not want to watch it, okay? Because it's about extreme racism. It's about a person using children as a part of their scheme. And I'm going to show you the facts. Okay, now we're going to talk about Debbie Rowe and Prince in Paris. Okay, they're older now. Before, I didn't want to really talk about them too much because they were children. But now that they're, over 25 years old, I mean, Prince is going to be 30 in a couple years. Paris is already 27. So, and did you know Prince and Paris are only 14 months apart? I mean, that's a really, really fast turnaround, right? You give birth to Prince February 97, and by April 98, you're already pregnant again. Okay. Giving birth again, because Prince's birthday is February and Paris's birthday is in April. It's weird because Paris and Brandon are just one day apart. Okay, just one day. Brandon's birthday is April 2nd, 1981. And then Paris's birthday is April 3rd, 1998. I think I got those correct. But then again, that's the weird thing. Look about Giovanni, Joe's love child with another woman. Her birthday is August 30th, and Michael's birthday is August 29th. And you know the Jacksons, they got weird dates, like Rebe and LaToya have the same birthday. Jackie and Catherine have the same birthday. So they just have all these kind of coincidences, and these, they're like a magical family in a way, Okay. So anyway, let me not go off on a tangent. Go to Stays All Day Shea and order your fantastic shea butter. It's healing as well as improving the quality of your skin, keeping your skin looking youthful and not letting it get old and wrinkly. So see, this is my elbow. See, that's my arm. Excuse me. That's my arm. That's my elbow. That's my arm. Okay. And I remember seeing Janet, she had like a dark elbow and it was all the way up like this. And then you use the shea butter, it lightens it, as well as turmeric soap. And I have turmeric, tomato, soap on my website too. All right. So now let's get to the Debbie Rowe stuff. Okay. First, I'm going to show you how racist Debbie is. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to, Florence Nightingale just gave Mike, I went with the narrative. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I go with the narrative? The narrative was Michael wanted kids and she was just a good Samaritan and donated her body to give Michael kids. Okay, that's what I believed until the facts proved otherwise. The next thing, I in the overflow room when I saw her testified live in person. Okay, so Debbie really told on herself through the testimonies and me trying to figure out how the heck did Michael end up. Okay, well, hold on. Okay, we'll go there first. How did Michael end up like this? Hold on, let me show you something. How did it end up like, okay, I got these. Okay, how did this family black family, all black family, okay, end up, and Michael end up like this. Hold on, I got it. I got the picture. Oh, I know I have it. I know I saved it. Hold on. And end up like, let's see. Where is that photo? I thought I had it up, y'all. I thought I had it up, but I guess I don't. Okay, let's search for it now. Oh, here it is. It's probably in here. Nope. Oh man, I'm so sorry, guys. I had it. Okay, so we saw the 2300. Let's put in Debbie because I just saved this stuff. Okay. End up. How did Michael end up like this? How did it end up like this? White family. White. Okay. How did that happen? I mean, Michael didn't hate black people that much. He couldn't because it was black women especially who took the Jacksons out of the ghetto, right? Out of that little 2-bedroom house where the girls slept in the living room, right? Catherine and Joe had their own bed, and then 6 boys were in in triple-decker, 2 triple-decker bunk beds, right? And oftentimes had to share beds because those were the beds that they could afford at the time, right? How did that happen? Michael has been called a race traitor. Michael has been called self-hating. Michael has been called a white supremacist. Michael has been called a racist against himself and his own people, that Michael hated the way he looked. And I was just like, how is that possible when not only do you have like the greatest genes of any entertainment family or any large family with successes in the history of the world, right? We got the Kennedy family, but they were very successful, but a lot of them got killed crazy ways, and they had a lot of suffering in the family. And they were politicians, and it was really the father that really made all the money, right? Joseph, both of their names was Joseph, right? And so then we have the Jackson family, right? Joseph, the father, didn't make all the money, the kids did, right? And so some of your biggest competitors is your sister Janet, you know, and you were with your brothers, and then then you signed with a black-owned company, Motown, and they brought you to superstardom, and you knew all the great black artists and never heard about any of them ever doing bad things to you, or any proof of anybody at Motown ever doing bad things to the Jacksons. Stevie Wonder, Janet said, and is their cousin. She said on the mother's side. I wish I knew the exact lineage to that, but I don't. She never really talked about it. She just said on her mother's side. And she said Tracy Chapman and Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know. But anyway, this just seems odd. But anyway, I believe her because she would know her family more than I would, right? But why would you be so against your blackness? And what took you to superstardom and really had you cross over was a black-owned TV show, Motown 25. So why on earth would you think your blackness is something you need to get rid of, right? You need to get rid of it, right? Why would that be, right? I'm going to show you something, okay? So I showed you that this is Michael, and Michael's been called all kind of race traitors, haters, hating himself, and all kinds of stuff. That's Michael, Debbie Rowe, baby Prince with dyed yellow hair, dyed blonde hair, and that's baby Paris, right? All white looking. You would never think that Michael was a black guy. If you were glancing, you wouldn't think so. You would just think it's a white family, right? All right, so we're going to get into this, and I don't have a lot of time, okay? So then, like I said, it was a black family, and black people have been good to Michael, right? Very, very, very good to Michael, right? So I wondered about how that happened. Well, let me read you something. So after Debbie Rowe left testifying in the courtroom at the Catherine versus the AEG live trial, where she testified under oath that she, Dr. Klein, and Dr. Hoffman purposely addicted Michael Jackson to drugs, right? Purposely. She said the two doctors were competing for Michael's attention and affections by giving him more and more and more powerful drugs. Debbie was the one that made sure he took the drugs. She was the one that went and picked up the prescriptions and took the drugs. And according to Debbie's testimony, who wasn't a nurse, any kind of nurse, not an LVN, not a RN, not a nurse practitioner. She didn't even have her EMT license, right? But she was writing prescriptions for Michael to have drugs. She was writing prescriptions. Should Debbie really be allowed to get away with that? Now, we all saw the TMZ documentary when she said that she sucks as a human being, right? Okay, let's do that. Oh, but before we do that, there's just so much. I only got a few minutes because I got to go 2 places and then we're going to the movies. Okay, so before I go to that, let me tell you how Debbie showed her racism to me. So after she got off the stand, right? And she said that and I cried in the courtroom when she said that, because I know Michael never wanted to be a drug addict, never. Okay. And to know that after he had that reconstruction surgery, after the Pepsi burn, that was very painful. That's when they took advantage of him. Who knows what they did before that, right? Maybe they lightened his skin and told him he had vitiligo. Maybe they gave him Dr. Klein was a very powerful dermatologist. So everything that was non-black about Michael came out of that office, came out of Debbie Rowe and Dr. Klein, FACT. Why didn't Debbie get a black sperm donor? Why didn't she do that? So Michael wouldn't be embarrassed. So they'd be biracial kids. Okay, biracial kids that look like this. Okay, Jackie's kids. Let's take a look at Jackie Jackson's children. Okay. Oh my God. I'm jumping around. Oh my God, because there's so much to say. Okay. I got to show you Jackie Jackson's kids. Okay. These are, and the mother looks a lot, Jackie's wife, she looks a lot like Debbie Rowe. She has Debbie Rowe's complexion. She has Debbie Rowe's skin tone, color eyes. Okay. So, and Jackie looks very much, I think if Michael got no surgery, he would look very much like Jackie. Okay, so this is what Michael's biracial children should look like. Okay, they should look like that. They look like mixed kids, regular mixed kids. That's Janet with them, and that's the mother. Very much like Debbie Rowe, right? Why wouldn't the children look like this if they were Michael's biological kids? These are Jackie's kids. Okay, that's how they would look, biracial. They don't. Okay, so hold on. We got that. Okay, so after Debbie got off the stand, and I was so mad and hurt that human beings would purposely addict someone to drugs to control them. Okay, she walks off to Catherine, and Catherine was sitting with her relative on Joe's side, Trent, and he was her caretaker until there was a falling out. But anyway. And Reby took over being Catherine's caretaker. Okay, so with Trent, okay, she walks over off the stand and hugs Catherine as if she's done Catherine a favor, as if Catherine was too stupid to understand that she said she participated in addicting Michael to powerful drugs. And she says, if you have a problem with him, with Trent, just call me. And I was, oh my God. Like she was the massa of some plantation, and the only time she gets involved is when it's a hard issue, and she would come and she's the protector, and she gonna come run things and put people in place. Now, Debbie, if you don't know Debbie, Debbie's a bold, strong-willed bully, witch. Okay, I hate to cuss on these lives. But she is a bully. She's very strong-willed. She's very determined, and she's very controlling. Okay. So, so when I got home, I was going to give her a piece of my mind. Because how dare you do something like that? How terrible are you, right? To addict somebody to drugs and bring them the drugs and write prescriptions and do all this stuff. And then double think a doctor. At one point, another doctor came in and she was mad that another doctor came in because she had Michael on a drug regimen and his pain relieving regimen. She knew best and she knew how to handle it and she knew. Okay. She was mad because somebody else was taking over from Michael's prescription, Michael's health and his drug use, trying to monitor it and get him off of it. Okay, they had Michael so strung out on drugs, and Debbie was there to make sure he took those drugs, that he got them and he took them. Okay, it's some ugly, ugly, ugly stuff. Okay, so when I got home, I tweeted Debbie Rowe. I tweeted her because I was very upset. How dare you? Okay, do something like that to Michael or any human being. How dare you, right? And it ended up being a 2 or 3 day Twitter battle. Me and her going back and forth, and it was ugly. And it was nasty. She called me a bitch. So I could have called her a bitch too. But she called me a bitch. And it kept going on and on and on and on and on. So here is one thing that she decided that she was going to tweet to me. Okay, number one, that Michael's dead. And Debbie, did Michael ever tell you you look like an egg? Because Peter, Michael, Bobby told you. I bet that messed with your head, right? Okay, so anyway, here we go. All right, so she says, this is Painted Desert Ranch is Debbie Rowe. Debbie Jean Rowe Jackson. Painted Desert Ranch. That's what those initials mean. Debbie Jean Rowe Jackson, Painted Desert Ranch. This is her, official. Okay. And it says, that he only dated white women or that he married 2 of us. And then one guy says, but he didn't only date white women, laughing out loud. She says, let me rephrase. Didn't date black women. Woo! Okay. And then I responded, MJ chose black women, black girls for videos. In Smooley's book, MJ said he chose the girls. So Michael wasn't anti-black women. Only video that he has that he's not with a black woman is Lisa Marie in what is it? Alone, You Are Not Alone. Okay. The other ones are black girls. Okay. And then Debbie says, but he slept with us crackers. He didn't sleep with you. He didn't have sex with you. So she's lying. And then Aaron, this other guy, he says, laughing out loud, I don't think he only slept with white women. Okay. So people want to know why I am so obsessed with Brandon. Okay. I go where the facts take me with Brandon Howard. I personally am very, very happy that Michael's DNA lives on in another person. I think it was too valuable of a DNA. Michael could draw. Michael could sing. Michael could dance. He was humble. He was shy. He was outgoing. He was kind. He was generous. Why the hell wouldn't I want Michael's DNA to live on? So people want to separate it because people really do think, and you got to search your soul if this is what you think, that Michael liked white people better. And that may be true. That may, I don't know. I don't know what was in his heart and soul, but I just know black people really didn't do horrible things to him. Okay. Now, Brandon has been with the family the whole time. Okay. And I've done many, many, many things to prove to you guys that Brandon is Michael Jackson's biological son. Okay. Everything matches, even on the Thriller album with Baby Be Mine. Damn. Baby Be Mine is the name of a song on the Thriller album with Billie Jean. Eyes look just like mine. Oh no, the lie becomes the truth. Okay. 40 days, 40 nights pregnancy. The law was on her side. Okay. So the Baby Be Mine. Then Mickey had a song, Baby Be Mine. And then on the flip side of Baby Be Mine, right? On the flip side, Human Nature, but when he released it the same year that in '87, when Mickey had Baby Be Mine come out, the flip side is I Can't Stop Loving You. And I'm rethinking it, right? I always thought it was a one night stand. Joe was Mickey's manager. And Papa Joe was Mickey's manager. She lived at the house for a period of time. Michael said she snuck in his room sweet perfume. Okay, so she was under the roof. Mickey participated in teen beauty contests. He said she was more like a beauty queen, which means she wasn't. She was kind of like that. So he's telling you who she is. Billy loved Billie Holiday. That's Billy and Billy's jeans. Marlon confirmed that. It was Billy's jeans. So it was her. Okay. Nikki Howard. Michael drew pictures of Nikki Howard, sketches of Mickey Howard. Okay. It's all there. The timing, the age, everything just matches perfectly. And I personally am happy about it. Now I had to rethink. I always thought maybe it was a one night stand. But why would Michael put Baby Be Mine on the flip side of I Just Can't Stop Loving You? Was it a longer relationship? Okay. Also, the girl is mine. Okay. I thought about that too. If Augie was hired, which I believe, because Augie was on the Off the Wall album as the credits, Augie Johnson, who's supposed to be Brandon's alleged biological father, but he ain't. He's the cover-up dad. Okay, the cover-up dad. And maybe that's why Michael had the song, The Girl Is Mine. Because even though Mickey might be with him, Michael's still thinking, but that's my girl still. So did they have more of a relationship that we never knew about? And Billie Jean's always talking when nobody else is talking. Mickey says she signed an NDA. Okay. And Michael, I mean, it's all just there, right? It's all just there for us to just find and just discover Michael's inner thoughts and how he used his art to kind of tell the truth and tell the message. So yes, I am happy that Michael Jackson has a biological son who is black like him. Yes, as a black person, that makes me feel happy. It makes me feel less hurt that Michael got to the top and then said, black people, I don't need you no more. I don't want to be black no more. I don't want to have black kids no more. I just don't want anything black. Right? Why would that make me happy? Why would I want that to be true? Okay. And I thought that for a long time. So did a lot of black people, and so do a lot of black people still. But Debbie Rowe should not be allowed. So when Debbie Rowe said that Michael only dated white women, and somebody said, no. And then she said, oh, let me rephrase this. He didn't date black women. So was that her goal? I'm just saying, it came out. Was that her intentional goal? Okay. For him to separate him from the black race, separate him from black women, separate him from his black lineage, his black DNA. Was that her goal? Because she sure said, well, let me make this clear. Let me make this clear. Michael didn't date black women. He don't like y'all. And not caring a bit about his black mama, his black sisters, his black nieces and nephews, and damn sure didn't give a damn about his black fans, his black female fans. Didn't give a damn about it. Okay? This is her. This is not me. This is her saying this. Okay? Now, let's move on. Okay. So I just want you guys to know that. Now, I'm going to leave the link to two videos that I did. Let me show you. 2 videos that I did about Debbie Rowe. And if you want to check transcripts, I'm going to give you the titles of these videos, and I'm going to put the link down here too. Okay. These are the 2 videos I did on Debbie Rowe. Yep, Debbie sucks as a human being, like she said. Debbie admitted to what I said, that she addicted people to drugs. She addicted to Michael to drugs. She admitted to it on camera on a TMZ documentary. And then Debbie Rowe testifies about the kids she gave MJ, foreign marriages, and more Rowe testimony. Okay? Now, neither one of Michael's marriages to Lisa Marie, and I like Lisa Marie. You guys never heard me say anything bad about Lisa Marie. I like Lisa Marie. I always liked her. You know why I liked her? because she was there for Michael in his darkest hours. Okay. The plan was, according to Shauna Mingatal, who worked for Michael's manager at the time of the 93 allegations, at the time where everybody was thinking Michael was a gay pedophile, right? They were going to set up, it's crisis management. Oh, it's show business. Business. Remember, y'all, it's business. Okay, show business. Okay, they don't want to lose money. All the people that are tied to Michael, invested to Michael. Michael doesn't want to lose it. Michael worked his whole life for his career. What do we do? So Shauna was supposed to be Shauna Mangatal, black woman. Okay, I think her father's Indian, East Indian from India. Okay, she kind of looks like the Kamala Harris type. Okay, but anyway, she was supposed to be getting married to Michael. Okay, but he chose Lisa Marie over Shauna. I get it. I don't think that was racist. I think it was the king of pop with the king of rock and roll's daughter. That's what I think. And I don't think race had anything to do with it, more so than the king of pop stuff instead of the music royalty. I think that was first. Maybe for other people that persuaded him to get with Lisa Marie, maybe they thought race. But I think Michael's number one thing was the music royalty connection. I really do. Okay. And I don't think the reason why Brandon Howard was hidden was because he was a black kid. I don't believe that at all. I believe it was the timing. And I believe, sorry, Michael, that you chose your career over having a public son. Okay. Joe didn't believe in abortion, so Michael might not have either, because Michael had a song called Abortion Papers. So there was no abortions. Okay. Look how many kids Joe and Catherine had. Okay. Joe was the main one that didn't believe in abortions. Catherine did, because remember in American Dream, when she was pregnant before they got married with Reedy, and she said, I'll get rid of it. I don't want to mess with your boxing career, Joe. And he's like, nope, we're not having it. We're not having that. Joe didn't believe in abortions. Watch the American Dream. Also, you'll see when Michael's born, it's Michael Joe Jackson. Okay. And they're the ones that had a foot in producing that film. Okay. The Jackson family. All right. So I don't think that Brandon's blackness had anything to do with being a secret child of Michael's. I think it was the timing. Michael wanted to appear to be a bachelor. He didn't want to appear to be an unavailable father, right? An unavailable father. He wanted girls to dream and drool over him and have fantasies that they're going to be his wife and they're going to fall in love and he's going to fall in love with them. So I believe that was Michael's number one reason. Who knows the other reasons? But at that time, why would he, everything in his world that was wonderful was black. Okay. They were up with CBS, Epic. Right? They were with CBS and Epic under the black artist category, where Larkin Arnold, who I've interviewed, I have an interview with him somewhere, was the head of black music at CBS, and Cecil's dad, who's in the credits of Thriller, was the head of black music for Epic. Okay, so that's how that all happened. Okay, and Cecil's father was part owner of Casablanca Records. Okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, so anyway. So, I wanted to make sure I was clear with that. Okay. Clear with that. Now, Debbie Rowe. Okay. She admits that she was in control of Michael and his medications. I have the transcript right here. Okay. Where is that first, Debbie Rowe, quote in an article, admits that, here we go, Debbie, excerpts. Michael Jackson's two other tug-of-war battle with Debbie Rowe confessed he was not their father. This is what magazine? I don't know which magazine. It probably says it somewhere on here. But anyway, I think it's Daily Mail, but I'm not certain. Okay. But anyway, Debbie says, I was just the vessel. It wasn't Michael's sperm. Just like I stick the sperm up my horse. This is what they did to me. I was his thoroughbred. Okay. So she admits it. Okay. Despite his death, she did not want custody of the children and never expects to see them again. Okay. And the date of that is January 31st, 2011. Okay. You guys can look it up and see what magazine that was that said that, but they're quoting her. And Debbie has admitted it other times too. Okay, so, and then a girl that can't stand me, who really dislikes me, she had reported several years ago for a few minutes that Paris had posted her DNA test where it said she was 0.2% black. 0.2% black. So you know Michael's more than that. She would be anywhere from 35 to 50% black, right? Because we aren't 100% black, because we were mixed up mostly, especially Catherine and Joe's age, through the rape of a white person, okay? Because interracial marriages were not accepted until the 1960s, okay? So anyway, so we got that. Okay, so now we're going to go to here. Okay, so you guys watch those videos. Debbie admits to drugging Michael Jackson, and here, she admits to, where is that article? Where is that one? She admitted to giving Michael drugs. Where is that? Oh, I thought I saved all this stuff, and then now I can't find it. Okay, hold on. Let's go to Debbie Rowe. Oh, I just saved it. Debbie Rowe. Hold on, I'm bringing it to you guys. Okay. Debbie Rowe. Okay, Debbie. Here we go. Black family screenshot. Debbie admitted. Debbie directing. Oh, here we go. Here's her testimony. Okay, proving that she was in control of Michael's drugs. Okay, here we go. This is her testimony at the Catherine versus AEG live trial. Okay, a question. And would you agree that if you did not feel that the infusion could be safely done, you would never have allowed the procedure to occur? Answer, Debbie. You mean the treatment? And the question was the treatment. Answer, yeah, I would not. Okay, so she in control of Michael. What happens with Michael medically? Remember, she ain't got no nurse license, no nothing. Question, and Michael would have listened to you? Objection, this is the other side. Objection calls for speculation. Judge says sustained, shut up. Okay, and then the other one's, based on your experience, did Michael listen to you when you said, don't take that or take that? Debbie Rowe's answer is yes. Yes. She told Michael what drugs to take and what drugs not to take, what procedures to have and what procedures not to have. Okay? Now, in the other one, Debbie has said that she said to Michael, and she said to Lisa Marie too, but Lisa Marie already had kids, so what was the desperation? Oh, Debbie said, let's do Sisterella first. Let's go back to Sisterella. Okay, Sisterella. Okay, Sisterella. Okay, Sisterella was a play about a black person, okay, a black family, where somebody was trying to see, it's a spring off, like kind of like The Wizard of Oz and The Wiz. It was Cinderella and Sisterella, kind of like that thing. Okay, similar storyline and plot, but a little bit of a twist here and there. So, Debbie Rowe was hanging with Michael when he was executive producing with Robert De Niro and another person, the Sisterella play, okay, about somebody trying to steal an inheritance. Okay, listen to this. It was just really fun. When he felt, I know this sounds weird, but he was very contemplative in trying to figure it out. This is when he was, I believe it was after Sisterella. He is Michael, ready to do a video, and he was trying to figure out how he was going to do something. We actually went over to the cemetery, the forest lawn, all over near Griffin Park. It was a beautiful place. It has beautiful statues. Michael loves sculptured artwork. So it was really quiet, and I never realized that was some place that he would go and no one would see him. It was quiet, and it was there were a bunch of dead people, but it was just some place he would go and just to be himself and hang out. And it was nice. It was nice. Bro, did you find out it was hard for him to move around in public? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So Debbie's sitting at Forest Lawn Mortuary with Michael, hanging out, thinking about Sisterella and thinking about death. Okay. I believe this is where she got the idea to steal Michael's inheritance. Okay. Take it away from black people and give all the money he gathered from black people, give it to white people. Okay. I'm sorry if this hurts you guys, but Debbie should not be allowed to get away with this. Okay. Now if I get hate, whatever, because the truth hurts. Okay. Debbie is telling us where her mind was. Sisterella and death, Forest Lawn. Inheritance when you die. Okay. Let's move on. Michael apparently died of an overdose, right? But Michael got away from Debbie Rowe and he got away from those drugs and he was able to see clearly. Okay. And in the will, I've done it already. He says that he is purposely omitted to, he has intentionally omitted to provide for his heirs. And by California law, at that time, it says the heirs that you don't want to provide for, you must list them. In Michael's will and trust, he does not initial that his name is Michael Joseph Jackson. He does not initial that Paris, Prince, and BG are his children, but he does initial that all his money goes to the Jackson Family Trust and to refer to the trust. And then when you go read the trust, Paris, Prince, or BG's name do not appear anywhere in the trust. Now, in the trust, it says a bloodline at issue. A bloodline. All Brandon has to do, if he's the biological son, everything points to that. And according to Judge Maybelline, there's no statute of limitations for a bloodline inheritance, right? He doesn't need to be named. All he has to do is prove the DNA. Michael wasn't ready for that. So when Brandon thought he was going to come out that he was Michael's son, Michael sabotaged that DNA test to where it was inconclusive. Okay, suppose it come from somebody, Michael's dental work. Okay, but there's Michael has many siblings. Okay, to where you can prove it. So we know that Brandon, we got Brandon with Jafar. We got Brandon doing songs with Jackie's son, Deals. We got Brandon doing songs with Tito's son. We have Brandon producing LaToya. We have Brandon, and his brother Nicholas, who they don't look anything alike. And his last name is Johnson, not Howard. Okay. Going on the, remember the time, set. Okay. Michael don't have any pictures really. There's one that might be Brandon, but I'm not quite sure. It's in my Alive 4, documentary. But why not? If Brandon was just a little kid that hung out at the house and was there all the time, Michael took pictures with kids that hung out all the time. Okay. And I was thinking, Michael was, everybody saying he wanted baby so bad. He wanted baby so bad, so bad, so bad. Maybe he was missing his son and feeling guilty about what he did to his own biological son. Okay. That's what I was thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. All right. So anyway, so we have Debbie Rowe. Okay. Her mindset. Then she says to Michael, let me have kids for you. Okay. Michael says no. Okay. Michael tells her no. She gets pregnant anyway, right? Then Michael's going around, and we've all seen this shot. We've all seen this shot, okay, of Michael Jackson, Debbie. Oh my goodness, I got to tell you something else. Oh my God. You know what? I better bring this up before I forget. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do this real quick before I forget. Okay, here's another testimony. Okay, this is the St. Catherine versus AEG trial. This is Debbie Rowe being testified. Do you have a relationship with Prince now? We don't hate each other. Is that what you mean? I mean a close bond, like I'm closer to my daughter. How often have you seen Paris? I see Paris. Her birthday's in April, end of March. We started seeing each other, and she stayed weekends with me. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. How do you believe the death of the father? Whatever. Okay, Paris knows. Okay. Prince knows, BG knows, okay, that Michael faked his death. Of course they would know, right? So she says, my daughter, okay? Prince, I believe, is a surrogate mother, and I also believe that Dr. Klein is Prince's father. I believe, and the reason why Debbie had to get married, okay, is because when she was conceiving with Prince, they weren't married of any kind, okay? She just got pregnant on her own and told Michael, and we have the motorcycle shot. She says, she testified, oh, Michael was jumping up and down, and Debbie Rowe motorcycle. Let me see if I have that. Nope, let's see. Debbie Rowe, hold on. Let me go here. We've all seen it, but let me go here. Okay, let's do Debbie Rowe telling Michael Jackson she is pregnant. She is pregnant. Okay. Images. We all seen the motorcycle. Okay. And my question is motorcycle. Let's put motorcycle. Motor, C-Y-C-L-E. Motorcycle. Where is that image? Dang, I have that image. It's everywhere. I gotta do Google. Google's so much better. Okay, Google understands me. Debbie Rowe, motorcycle, ride, telling Michael Jackson she is pregnant. I gotta go. Oh my God, I gotta go. Pregnant. I gotta go. Okay, where is that motorcycle ride? Oh, here it is. Okay. So Michael was on the set. Here we go. Okay, hold on. Apply. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is her apparently telling Michael on the set of Ghost. Okay, the baby news. So who was the cameraman? Okay, who was the cameraman? Why you have a cameraman with you? Okay, because she was going to the press and telling the press that you're going to be a dad, I'm pregnant. He was so excited he ran around the tarmac screaming, where's that footage? How come he in a mask here? How come he's in a mask here? Where's that footage at? Where is that footage? I'm just saying. We don't have that. Okay? Because I believe Debbie got pregnant on her own and she trapped Michael by telling the press. And then he thought to himself, after all, they won't think I'm a homosexual pedophile, so I'll go with it, but dang, right? So she got pregnant, no ties to Michael, except for she gave Michael custody of the kids in 2002. So she had got smart with Paris, because how come she wanted to get another child that fast, right? Within 14 months, right? They're 14 months apart, right? So it takes her 10 months to have pregnancy. So 4 months in between, okay? 4 months between pregnancies, right? Right? And she said a few times it didn't take, so she tried to do it faster. She tried to do it quicker than those 4 months. Why? Well, after they had the fake marriage ceremony in Australia, okay, the law in California said if a child is born in matrimony, which means you're married, then you're considered the daddy. Unless otherwise proven, you're considered the daddy. So Paris was an insurance that she would steal the money from Michael. That was an insurance, okay? Now, David Geffen, very powerful guy in the entertainment industry, very. Okay. Now, David, I don't know if this is true, but I'm just going to lay out some facts. I've been confused why David Geffen had Gail and Oprah on the yacht to watch Leaving Neverland. That's a mean thing to do. And have Oprah interview these two lying, cheating, extortionist men do a special show, and Oprah says, yeah, getting molested feels good. Oprah, I think that was a failed attempt at charm. I don't think Oprah's a child molester, but we can switch all that because Oprah also had kids sleepovers and matching pajamas and took care of kids and all this stuff. So the things that you used to make Michael look guilty, Oprah, we could use those to make you look guilty. Okay, I do not believe at one point Michael says it's not sexual. He says the kids slept in the bed. He slept on the floor. But he said even if he slept in the bed, there's nothing wrong because it ain't sexual. He ain't interested in sex like that. He slit his wrist first. He would not do something. He ain't Jack the Ripper. So he's saying that, no, I would never. I'm not thinking of kids and sex together. Okay, so a lot of people want to say share the bed. He's sharing the bed. He meant if we fall asleep in the bed, I'm going to go get on the floor and give you the bed. So I'm sharing my bed with you, but I ain't in it. Michael would get on the floor and make a pallet because he had a bad back, and the floor sometimes felt better than the bed. Okay? So anyway, so he wouldn't look like a gay pedophile. So Michael went with it. Debbie Rowe in her transcript said to the nanny or babysitter or whoever while she went out, she said, don't leave the baby prince with Michael. He's too drugged up out of his mind. And she take the phone, right? So she controlled him. So he couldn't even call nobody while she wasn't there. So she couldn't listen into the conversation. She take the phone with her, okay? Because Michael loved the phone. But she would have him so drugged up that he would embarrass himself because he was so drugged and he'd be on the phone. So that's why, because she had him so drugged up and out of his mind. Okay, so why are you rushing to have another baby by a drug addict? Debbie said, no, I would never have. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, Debbie. You got pregnant when Michael was a full-blown junkie that you had created. Now, I believe Paris is Debbie's DNA because Debbie wanted ties to that money, boy, right? I believe she said, my daughter. My daughter. Okay, and I believe that she's the biological mother of Paris. And I believe Mark Lester, who said that he gave sperm for Michael, right, is the biological father. And I'm going to give you something really good. Debbie said she conceived Paris in Paris, right? Oh, I think I have the transcript to that. Let me look. Let me see if I have that transcript. Okay, the Debbie conceived Paris in Paris. Okay, let's see. Oh, here it is. Here we go. So the other stuff, you guys can watch those other videos. I just can't look up a million things and have a million things. Okay, reason behind Paris's name. All right. Paris Jackson was named after the French capital city where she was conceived. Additionally, her name stems from a promise made by her father, Michael Jackson, her aunt Latoya, and family friend Kathy Hilton. They agreed that if any of them had a daughter, she would be named Paris. Latoya had no kids, but she had a dog named Paris. Okay. Personal significance. Michael Jackson had a deep affection for the city of Paris. The connection became more meaningful for Paris Jackson when she visited the city and felt a strong bond with her father's love for it. Okay, so she got pregnant. Oh, where's the pregnant part? They agreed. Oh yeah, she conceived. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. I have it. Where she admits that she conceived, I'm so sorry, Paris in Paris. Okay, she conceived Paris in Paris. I didn't get the whole thing. What? But anyway, trust me, she said she conceived Paris in Paris. Okay, now, guess where Mark Lester lives? In England. The distance between, in a car, Paris and where Mark Lester lived in England, 7-hour drive. So you got to get to a fertility clinic, right? So because she was conceived in Paris, Mark Lester is not very far. He's European too, from Paris. I believe that it's Mark Lester's sperm. Okay, and that Paris is the biological father of Mark Lester. Okay, it's some cold-blooded stuff. Okay, so let me move on. David Geffen. Okay, get back to David Geffen, then I gotta go. David Geffen did that thing with Oprah and Gail, anti-Michael to the hill, right? But guess who introduced Michael to Dr. Klein? Per Debbie Rowe's testimony. Oh, let me see if I can find that again. I'm so sorry. I think I saw that. Per the testimony. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, hold on. Okay, well, she said, I thought I saved that. You know, my stuff be disappearing. But anyway, you can read the transcripts, okay? Trust me, I have it. Okay, that it was David Geffen. Oh, I got the transcripts. Let me do this. I have the transcripts. Let's go to the transcripts. Got the transcripts. Where are they? Because I can just put in, I had the transcripts up. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Where are those transcripts? Okay, I have it. Let me do it real quick, and I could probably find it real fast. Transcripts. Okay, transcript, Debbie Rowe. Debbie Rowe. Debbie Rowe, here it is. Debbie Rowe. I have so many transcripts saved. I mean, I can go through it. Okay, Debbie Rowe transcripts. And let's do Control F. And let's find Debbie Rowe. No, that's the other transcripts. That's the Catherine. I mean, the 2005 transcripts. Let's see. That's 2005 transcripts. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. The Catherine versus AEG trial was in 2013. So let's do Control F, and then I really got to go. And let's do Geffen, Geffen. Geffen. Okay. Yeah, Geffen is in here. Okay, why is it saying no? There's Geffen in here. I don't know why. Let's look up David, D-A-V-I-D. David. Here we go. David Bowie. We're looking for David Geffen. Okay, Geffen. It's in here. Is this the whole transcripts? Maybe it ain't downloaded yet. Let's try it again. Geffen. Well, anyway, according to Debbie Rowe's testimony, I have it. David Geffen's the one that introduced Michael to Dr. Klein. And not only that, there was a David Geffen School of Dermatology or something like that at UCLA. Guess who was in the head of it? Dr. Klein. So Geffen and Klein close like this. Because I wondered, how does a receptionist afford to in vitro fertilization? She's a receptionist. She works at the front desk. She can't be making much over minimum wage. Can't be making enough money to save up $10,000, $20,000 or more to pay for it. So it was there more people involved where they wanted that Sony ATV catalog out of black ownership? We all know it. And was that the way to do it? I'm just saying. Okay, so now, now let's go through some of the other stuff. Rest in peace to Lonnie Anderson. I knew her daughter, Deidre Bickel. Deidre Bickel. I'm getting hot. Okay, Deidre Bickel. I knew her. Oh my God, I'm running out of time. And so rest in peace. I went to high school with her, Deidre Bickel. She was just a nice young girl. Just a nice young girl. So rest in peace to Lonnie Anderson. She was in the TV show WKRP in Cincinnati. And this is her. And she used to be married to Burt Reynolds too. And a guy named Bickel, and that's who I knew, Deidre Bickel. She went to Grand High School. Okay, BTS, boy band. A lot of people aren't happy with this, but they're supposed to be doing a tribute song, some Michael's unreleased songs and stuff. They're worldwide phenomenons, and Asia's a big place, so they want to be affiliated with something like this, because Rodney Jerkins and nephew, they're both there helping with the project. Paris, oh my God, Paris broke up with her boyfriend. That is so weird how I talked about it and how I was saying that I really kind of didn't trust him. I don't know why they broke up. It hasn't been said, but they broke up. Okay, they broke up. Now, the reason why I would name some of the things that Paris has done to Michael is not to just, be hating on Paris, but to prove that she wouldn't do this if she had a dead father that died when she was, 11 years old. Paris was born in 98, and 11 years old. Okay? You wouldn't do some of the things that she's done if Michael was really dead, right? So people were getting on Paris about performing on the anniversary of Michael's death, right? And then some article, I think one of the magazines I think it was Daily Mail, one of the magazines caught her crying, okay, and said she was crying about Michael's death. And she said, this is her official thing. Those are breakup tears. Y'all are effing reaching again. Okay, so she is mad. How dare you think I'm crying over my father's death? How dare you think I'm crying over y'all reaching again? You wrong again. Okay, I'm crying because I broke up with my boyfriend, with my fiance, the guy I was going to marry. Wow. I was shocked. I was shocked because I had just reported that I didn't really trust him. Okay, but anyway. So that's happened, and let's see what else is going on here. Let's see what else is going on. Why? Okay, certain things are missing here. And let's see if I got everything. If I've caught up. It's like having a hard time. Oh, ribbon cutting ceremony. I got a ribbon cutting ceremony. Oh, and the girl that said Michael had a DNA, she is just mad. She, even though she saw a DNA test that Paris posted, she still thinks that Michael's the biological father and said Paris posted something that wasn't true. Well, then why would you be okay with that? Why would you be okay with that? And she's mad at me, the messenger. You got to remember, I'm the messenger. I don't control anything except for the research that I do and the reports that I do. I have no influence on Michael. I wasn't even in Michael's world when the whole Debbie thing happened and Paris, Prince and Blanket happened, which was in 2002. I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't nowhere around. I didn't start reporting on Michael until 2005. I didn't start talking to him on the phone as Peter, Michael, Bobby until 2012. Okay, so I had no influence. I am the messenger trying to threaten me and my business and my everything because I'm reporting on this. That is absurd. The last person that interfered like that lost a lawsuit. Okay, lost a lawsuit. And don't think for one moment I ain't kept notes and kept videos and kept all the threats. Okay, the threats. All right. So, and this person was a part of the gang that had, was in Las Vegas looking for me to beat me up if I showed up at the Michael Jackson 1 show. Okay? Chill. I'm just a reporter. Okay? I'm just a reporter. And my first priority is Michael Jackson. Okay? I am a Michael Jackson fan from the first time they appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1969. Okay, I am a through and through Michael Jackson supporter fan, but I also don't think the people that did him dirty like that should get away with it. Dr. Klein is now dead. Dr. Coughlin, I don't know, he might be retired as far as I know. Debbie's still around. Admitted it on camera. And she ain't been prosecuted? What? Writing prescriptions when she ain't a doctor? Purposely addicting people to drugs, participating in people's demise? That's an accessory to murder. If you're giving people pills you know that they shouldn't have, that they can overdose and die on. So anyway, I have the Skin Butter Store ribbon cutting ceremony. Can you guys believe that I have been in business on the 10th will be 1 full year? A year. Look at this. Okay. I am so happy. I don't know why this one opened big, but anyway, I am so happy. So if anybody's in town, Thursday, August 21st at 11 o'clock at 11107 Burbank Boulevard, we're having a ribbon cutting ceremony because I joined the Burbank Chamber of Commerce. So anybody come out. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Cecil just came in and I gotta run some errands. I love you all, but I gotta go. Go to michaeljacksoninsider.com, and don't forget, if you want to see some of the transcripts that I talked about, watch those 2 videos that I showed you what they were, and I'll put them in the link too. Okay, talk to you guys later. Love you so much. Okay, and don't hate the messenger. Hate the people who did the dirty deeds. The ones that did the action is the one that should get backlash, not the messenger. I didn't do it. Okay. And I am not, I waited till they were grown to mention it, to talk about it. And, as if they ain't figured it out. Okay. They ain't figured it out yet. Okay. But anyway, guys, talk to you later. Love you so much. And, keep Michaeling, because poor Michael went through hell, and it was mostly due to racism. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.